Hello, I am the Suburban Monk. I hope you have your pencils ready because this is Paper and Ice anime. Whether you like it or not, these Japanese anime shows have influenced American culture and vice versa. It should be no surprise considering that over 20 years there have been anime on American TVs, from Thundercats to Transformers to Ronin Warriors, to more current stuff like Bleach and Naruto. And of course, that's not what I meant and you know it. Wait, aren't you late from last episode?
I don't recall asking for your inept opinion regarding this.
Damn it. Anyway, we have been an influence on them as well. I can name at least 10 animes and even more JRPGs that have been made by someone that obviously paid some form of D&D. And why not? Anime kicks ass. I mean, running around in a giant armored suit, earth-shattering key attacks, and certain other perks. This, of course, led to someone getting the idea to try and turn all this into a tabletop RPG. The result is Big Eye Smile Mouth, also known as BSM from Guardians of Order. So how does it do? Well, let's dive in and find out. The first thing to notice about BSM is that well over half of this book is options for character generation. Given that the term anime covers so many genres, this should come as no surprise. What? Oh, I'm sorry, did you think that anime was its own genre? Oh, no. Anime is simply an art form, not a genre in and of itself. I mean, a particular series may be action, sci-fi, fantasy, and even slice of life and sitcoms. And this, of course, means that any role-playing system that tries to encompass all of this has to be robust and flexible. BSM does this in spades with their tri-stat system. The way the system works is that the storyteller will decide what kind of campaign they want and how powerful it will be. Campaigns can mean everything from common high school kids with magic to a future where your characters only live in space. As for the powers, those can range from a low-level campaign to a world-shattering powerful. And yes, there are estimated stats for blowing crap up. The Earth is a hard mother to kill, I'll tell you what. Now, the players will assign their points into 3 main stats: body, mind, and soul. They can range from weakness of the weak to unparalleled in the universe. Body is the character's general fitness, mind shows intelligence and cunning, and soul basically is willpower and charisma. Each of these 3 stats combine with each other to determine other stats like HP, MP, and combat value. Realize, though, that there are flaws and attributes that can augment all of these stats, including the calculated ones. This allows for a lot of customization for your character. For example, let's take Kenshin Himura from Rurouni Kenshin. Let's say he's an above-average intelligence and a high soul. However, his general body is not that great. He mostly just avoids attacks, does not take hits that well, and is not that strong in combat. So how is he that fast and devastating in combat? Well, speed accounts for him zipping around everywhere, and focused damage accounts for his devastating power. On the reverse side, let's take a look at one of the icons of anime from my generation, Son Goku. Let's admit it, he's as thick as a brick.
King Kai, could you tell me which way is south again?
However, his body and soul are through the roof. While this allows for his ability to take a hit and his combat prowess, this does not explain his ungodly amount of energy.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
Nor how he's able to lift a goddamn car when he was 12! He more than likely put a lot of points into energy and super strength. Speaking of Goku, now is probably a good time to bring on the most varied and universally used attributes of any show in series: weapon attack. This attribute chiefly covers all those kick-ass moves that everyone is pulling off in anime. This can be as simple as a beam that does damage to as complicated as 2-hit your dead punch. The possibilities are pretty much endless. If you have an idea for an attack, you can pretty much make it however hell you want. You want anyone who hits you to be damaged and poisoned? You can do that. Of course, this is a bit expensive, which is why there are disabilities you can take to pull the cost down, like costing energy use, limited shots, or you even have to lower your defenses to attack. Of course, another way to bring cost down is just put it under magic. Wait! Just because it's called magic does not mean you have to be a wizard to use it. Magic is just basically the term they use for abilities that cost energy. You can call it magic, key, psionics, whatever. This is a way to cheaply get abilities if you do not mind paying energy to do so. Of course, this can get costly with particular opponent abilities. Thus, you'll need to get some bonus energy, whether through a high mind and soul or through the actual ability called energy bonus. Though, if this is not your cup of tea, how about a mecha? What's a mecha? Basically, it's a machine that you can ride around in. This can be a car, a spaceship, or even the iconic mobiles. Think of it as another character that you wear. Strangely, that's not as out there as you might think. Anyway, your mecha can have abilities and disadvantages your regular character can't. Mostly because you're actually in the mecha. You get a lot of points to play with, but there's an inherent downside. One, you control your machine, so if your ability to hit sucks, so will it. Realize most of the mech riders we see in anime are ace pilots that beat people up in and out of their machines. 2, the mech can only go for so long before it needs a recharge, and of course, while the machine's in the hangar, you're as vulnerable as hell. 3, no magic, thus no cheap weapon attacks, so take this into account if you want a mech. Well, now I think it's time to talk about the combat system. This super complex system represents the ebb and flow of a great anime battle, must require at least 5 types of dice. What? Only 2d6s? Seriously? And all you do is make an attack roll and then a defense roll and that's it? Actually, that kind of fits. I mean, anime is dynamic and anything else might just bog down the combat. If you really want, you can add a bit more variety with the more complex rules, but they're not really that necessary. Anyway, you may have noticed I have not been talking about any actual setting rules. That's because there is no setting. The storyteller needs to provide everything. That means there are no pre-made characters, cities, or religions. Though, given that most mooks in anime are taken care of simply, so only the basics are really needed. If you are actually going to invest any time in making a character, they're probably going to be a boss or at least a head mook. Another thing to realize is you don't have to allow every ability in your game. If this story would flow better without the possibility of a mech ruining your plans, then go ahead and unallow it. Well, other than mechanics, BSM does a nice job setting the mood for your role-playing setting. It talks about the staples of good role-playing, giving short, precise examples for each genre, and even a little section on fan service. Not that kind of fan service. Unless you can get an open-minded female role-player. Well, you can't blame a guy for trying. Anyway, what I mean is attack names.
Here I go! This hand of mine is burning red! Its loud roar tells me to grasp victory! Erupting, burning, finger!
Cat girls.
May I? Yeah?
What now?
Yum! I'm ready for seconds!
Buildings blowing up. Cute android girls.
Come on, lady, let's play! Come on!
The Tokyo Tower. Naughty tentacles. Hyperdimensional hammers. The Showens. So what are my thoughts on BSM? Well, if you like role-playing or are into anime, this is probably the game for you. Don't let all the pages about character gen intimidate you. Yes, it's a lot of pages, but it's there to guide you, not to make you memorize everything. The game is flexible and easy to bring in new players, even if they've never done a tabletop game before. There's a D20 version of this game that adapts itself to bring in RPGs from other D20 tabletops like D&D, but a lot of the actual gameplay is the same. While some prefer the Tri-Stat system, both are fun, exciting, and easy to play. This is a game with near endless possibilities. You should not only give this game a try, but let yourself branch out into as many of the different worlds within anime as you can. And remember, fan service is what you make of it. Now, if you excuse me, I have a strange desire to go watch Rom and a Half. Bye.